So we're gonna try to get GPT to submit a Kaggle competition entry. And like earlier in the stream, we actually just said, hey, submit a Titanic competition set, and it actually ended up submitting. So I'm gonna give it a problem that it doesn't know, because it was a Kaggle competition for my game show, Sliced, which you can actually view on this channel, and you can view live on my Twitch channel as well. Let's see if it can submit a Sliced entry. And on top of that, how long will it take me for me to prompt engineer GPT to be able to submit code from beginning to end? How much will it cost me in GPT currency? So I'm just using this code, and I'm running 500 tokens here, which is a good amount of code. So input path here. So something I'm doing right now is there's some code that it's just not gonna know, like where the data lives, right? And just like if you're doing code review, right? Sometimes people's paths are not the same. Like, I'm not expecting this to know my path, right? ChatGPT is not a stalker, good to know. Okay, yeah. This is the first code that it kind of chunked out to me, so let's just try to run through it. And it's already broken here. It's trying to look for something called ID, and in the data set which we're using, which is the slice data set, it does have ID, but it's lowercase. So we're just gonna try to comment our way through this. Okay, so we're gonna take the same code and we're gonna input this here. And this happened on line 13. On line 13, ID should be lowercase. Okay, so this didn't work because it just returned to me this path. So let's actually increase tokens and see what happens. Okay, so it wrote more code. Okay, so it did change this to lowercase, and this is still an issue because the key here, ID, is still in caps. So we gotta take all that code, put this back in here. And so this wasn't precise, so let's try to do comment in line. So let's do it like this. To do ID should be lowercase for both variables here. Well, we'll keep it in here, and then we'll say Python. Okay, to do. ID should be lowercase for both variables here. It did not make it any lowercase, and it only created this line down here. This line says the above code will generate a CSV called submission CSV containing ID column from the test dataset and predicted target classification based on the model. I didn't want to do that at all. Okay, so incorrect GPT-3. What if we ran it again? It actually creates these different choices, right? So we can actually see like the different text choices, but it looks like there's only one that's returning. So whoops. We don't need this. It told you no, and it took your money, I know. It didn't fix the code. This code imports pandas, numpy libraries, loads a training test set, creates a... Okay, this is just... Okay, so this is an understanding that this is code that it needs to write. Instead of to do, let's say, I want GPT to change ID to lowercase. Here. Let's see how much money has this cost me in tokens. Right now, we are spending 2 cents. We're getting a whole 2 cents out of this right now. So now it's giving me this line of code. Ah, so that's okay. ID is not a string. It is a int. Please change. I'm so polite. It gave me end of doc. delete methods after calling the ID column. Delete the ID. ID should be a int, not a string. Oh, good. No, this is not correct. ID should be an integer, not a string. Oh, good. It gave me code. All right. It gave me code back. We're taking it. That only cost us $1 to write one line of code. All right. Good job. Good job so far. All right. Now let's run. All right. Can't find target. The target in this case is attrition flag. So let's say in this line, target variable is not target, it is attrition flag. Okay? Target variable is not target, it's attrition flag. Target variable is not target, it's attrition flag. Okay, so it returned this, but then it also returned ytrain, xtest, and ytest. So these are all wrong. What is this? I just wanted to change one line. Well, this is just like off-the-shelf code. Let's see. Return, okay. Return. What if we just say like this? Like, rather than making it look like code. Okay. This still won't run. We're here now. Could not convert string to float F. F's in chat. Xtrain. Train data set. It's just completely from the train. How do we do this? We got to convert the stuff in this data set into stuff that the model will take. It won't know what variables are in there, but what it could do is look through D types and get all the numerical variables. Okay, so maybe we say that. Return a list of from Xtrain. Okay. Hopefully that works. Hopefully that works. Okay, this is wrong. These are not these are not features in the data set. Okay, let's just I don't even know where this would come. I don't know where you would put that in. Let's try it this way. Okay. Ah. Okay. So here's all the numeric values in this data set. Okay. So here it says it can't convert to string. So we're going to say xtrain should use only the values in the numeric column list. Train and test data sets should use the numeric columns list as model features. Okay. Numeric column list values. Okay, this is good. We're getting there, chat. We're getting there. How much money has this cost me so far? 11 cents. Predict X test. That is this pred. That's the submission. The metrics accuracy score for ytrain and ypred. Really, it should be ytest, ypred. Delete all monometric usage from the following code. Okay. Let's try that. Let's try that. All right, does it run? Okay. Submission is created successfully. Download. Late submission. Submit. Fucking error. Change column name to target to attrition flag. Error. It wants target. Well, it did it in line or in place. It did in place true, But I think when you do in place true on a data frame, that actually doesn't work. So let's take this all again. Set equal to submission. It did not give us different code. Like, it wants us to do this now, but this won't work. Like, submission. Oh shit, it did. Okay, so this should work then. It did it! With a score of 1.22. And on the leaderboard, that would have been good for 34th place. GPT-3 was able to get us all of this code, and it took me a lot of runs. So it was 13 cents. 25, so it took me 25 requests over the course of 70 minutes. The cost of 13 cents. And I literally needed to know just all the things about this, all the things about the data set. I needed to know it. I need to know everything it was trying to do. Although we didn't code it all though. We did not code it all. All we did was put in comments. So it was able to return code so long as we were commenting what it needed to do. We still needed to use expertise to go line by line. So the only way this would have worked would be, like, if we were going to do this in production, you would basically need to, every time it would hit errors, you would need to say, like, you would need to say what the error was for it, like with more detail. After making only comments in order for GPT to produce a Kaggle competition submission, and it performed absolutely horrendously, I am still convinced that we don't really have access to a next level of AI that will ultimately take over things like research and development for us. I think we are still working with something that requires so much work, it would make no sense to put in that much effort at any production level of industry. It would just be way too difficult to hold GPT's hand through an entire code review process, entire production pipeline. It would just be too difficult at this moment. Maybe with GPT-4, it gets better, but I have a feeling that it's probably just going to get even more generalized. So was it worth it? The 25 requests in order to produce a bottom-dwelling Kaggle notebook? I mean, it was fun, but was it what people are fearing about, like, the next coming of automation and tech? No, right? It instills more confidence that the skills you're developing are very valuable still. The skills you're developing have more human elements to it than machine elements to it. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. So I gave it all of this.
Tony, if you're clipping the good stuff, then be sure to clip this endorsement from Sympathy, the creator of Raid Shadow Legend.
That's you. That's you.